In the last class, we built our API with lots of features, right? So we added pagination, right? And we added how to sort, how to set fields, right? So all these things we discuss in deep, right? Now we will move on and talk about something else called as aggregate functions using Mongoose. And of course, that Mongoose function is using aggregate framework of MongoDB database. Okay, so I have something from ChatGPT, some definition here. Okay, so here, if you can observe Mongoose aggregate function, there is a aggregate function in Mongoose. It is a powerful tool for performing advanced data aggregation operations. So I'm 100% sure that you won't know what aggregation means, but I will definitely explain you more about it. Okay, no worries. And this aggregation operations directly within the MongoDB. Okay, and it of course leverages MongoDB's aggregation framework. Okay, there is an aggregation framework available in the MongoDB, and it takes help of that, and it allows us to process and transform data in various ways. We can process the data and transform it into whatever we want in number of ways. Okay, and aggregation operations are composed of multiple stages. There are always stages when you try to get the aggregation results, and in those stages you will try to mention conditions and the way you want to aggregate the things, like that. Okay, and each transforming these multiple stages will transform the data as it passes through the pipeline. We call it as a pipeline because there will be multiple stages, and each stage the data will be keep on passing as a pipeline. Okay. Okay. So the thing is, there are like commonly used operators in Mongoose. In order to achieve these stages of aggregation, we use some operators: dollar match, dollar group, and dollar project, sort, all these things. Okay. So let's just use this in our example here in the code. So I will go to the tour controller and I will close everything else. I'll keep the, I don't even need this as well. Okay, so in the tour controller, I'm going to create a new function here. And this function, I'm going to call it as get to stats, like statistics of the tour. That's when aggregate functions are actually used. Whenever you want to get the statistics or the report of any data, right? That's when you go with the aggregate functions. Okay, so I'm going to create here called as exports dot get to stats. Okay, now this will be again an asynchronous function because we will deal with asynchronous task here. We will deal with the MongoDB and request and response. Okay, so and here of course we need the try catch block. Okay, and the error will simply be, I will copy this. So whenever you cannot perform an aggregation option, it will be either a bad request, or let me just make it a 400. Just have it. Yeah, 400 is fine. Some kind of error. Okay. Okay. So now here, what do I want to do here? I want to get tour stats, all the tour statistics, basic statistics. Okay. So I'm going to save that in the stats variable here, as you can see. Okay. So it already giving me the code, which I don't want to use it right away. I will cut this out. Okay. So observe here. I'm going to await the result of the tour model. This is our tour model. On top of it, we are calling an aggregate function, aggregate method, right? And here we will pass lots of options in an array. Okay, multiple options in an array. I will discuss that as well. And once the result is there, I'm going to store that in the stats here. Okay, and of course I want to send it as a response. So state is 200, and I will simply send a success and data of status. This will be the response that we are going to send, the status that we receive. But now, how do we want to aggregate this? right? So take a array here, and here you need to pass options and objects, multiple, as much as you want. Okay, and these options in the array will be executed one by one as a pipeline. Okay, okay, so usually the first option that you pass is called as a match. Okay, so this is basically like filtering. Like, how do you want to filter it? Filter object, when you pass it to the find, like to a dot find methodology, you would pass like find out the tours with this kind of criteria, right? The filter. So that's what this dollar match is actually. Okay, of course, now let's do the rating average itself as it gives here. Okay, so the thing is, we want to take all the tours which have the ratings average higher than 4.5, greater than or equals to 4.5. Observe the syntax here. Okay, so the dollar match ratings average, this is the field name. Okay, and which should be greater than or equals to 4.5. Clear? I hope this is clear. Okay, so let's move on to the next. This is the first uh, option that we are going to pass as a pipeline. Okay, okay. The second one. Now you will only receive all the tours which are greater than 4.5. Okay, okay. So let's just check this once first. Come back here, and it should be in the routes. We need to define a route for it, right? So come back here. It's definitely not with the ID, just with this. Okay, and if of course it is a get one dot get slash, I don't need the ID here, so just that itself, and get to stats. Okay, but the thing is, it should be imported as well. No, it's to a controller dot this. Okay, okay, okay. So now finally we will move on to the next thing. Come back here. Uh, get all tours, but we need to define another route here. Okay, so here it should be, sorry, I made a mistake here. I think I need to define a different route, not just this. Sorry. Okay, let me define a route here. So router dot get stats, get to a stats. Okay, that's it. I'm going to define a route here called as get to a stats. It's a separate one. It's not about following this REST API structure. I'm just going to have a simple get to a stats. It's about reporting. Okay. Okay. So now I will save it and I will come back here, and I'm going to take a copy of it, and I'm going to rename this to get to a stats. Okay. And for this, I'm going to mention it get to a stats. Okay. Hit send. We have an error. Okay, it says we don't have any route on this. Okay, so let's just see whether we have any error here. Let me just copy this. Okay. Okay, so I think I see the mistake here. So I think I have missed adding tours here. Okay, and let me hit send. So observe here, we should be having all the tours which have tours greater than 4.5. Okay, so observe that every tour has average of a rating average of higher than 4.5 or equal to 4.5. Okay, and if we check out how many tours are there in total, I think we can also have number of tours. How many tours are there? Like if you want to have a count, you can add this as well. Like for everything, you can add. Just come back here after having the count. For this, you can have like number of tours. This is the field name that you're giving. Number of tours. Okay, and then you can just simply set sum equals to 1. Okay, so all the tours that are matched. Okay, now I want to have a different field here. This is the field name, and for this the value should be counted like just 1. Like for every document it will sum up 1 to this. Okay, so this is called as aggregation, like summing up, giving average, finding something like that. Okay, so for every single document that matches this, we are adding 1 to this number of tools field. Clear? That's how it works. Okay, so now let's save it and get to our stats. Let's run this. Okay, we have an error here. Sorry. Okay, actually this fails because I made a mistake here. The thing is, all these things after the match, if you want to set fields and all, they should go under something, some other thing called as group by. Okay, so let's just come back here and set group option here. And we have to have a field here called as ID. Okay, and for this ID, I'm not going to set anything. I'm just going to keep it as null underscore null, or just sorry, just null. Okay, okay, I'm going to have this. Okay, so observe here. First is we will try to match all the documents that we want, which are greater than 4.5. This is like the filter object that we pass to the find method. Okay, okay. The second option is what makes it more interesting. Okay, here we want to group all the matched objects based on what, right? So we will definitely work on that. For now, I'm going to keep it as ID of null. This is a mandatory field that you should have based on what field you want to group the results by. Okay, okay. And here I also want to set now like number of tours, which is sum 1. Now every element that we pass here will be added to 1. And whenever you set ID of null here like this, it means that we don't want to group by anything. Every result should be just under one group. That's what it means. All the result in one group. That's what it means. Okay, that's what this means. Okay, okay. But if you set something else, then it will be grouped based on that field. Now let's save it and come back here to the get to stats and hit send. Now observe here, the number of tours is still 9. Okay, I think every tour is more than 4.5. Okay, let's just change this to 4.7 and hit send. Right, we only have 6 tours which are more than 4.7. Okay. Okay, so now the thing is, let's have more fun here. Like, let's set other things. Like, I want to have all the tours which have more 4.5, and I want more aggregated results, not just how many tours. Like, total number of ratings. How many ratings are there in total? Right? Every tour has some rating quantity. And if you try to count all the rating quantities of all the tours, we will get the total ratings, right? You can simply do this. Okay, we can have a number of ratings field here. And for that, we're having again an option where we mention the operator dollar sum and the field in the quotes. Okay, in the double quotes, you just have this dollar symbol and mention the field name that it should be counted. Okay, okay, so which is ratings quantity. Now every ratings quantity field will be summed and it will be added to the number of ratings. These two fields acts like the accumulator of every single field. Okay. Okay. So now let's just come back here and try to check back again. And we have number of ratings set to 270. In total, all the tours have 270 ratings in total. Okay, that is a tour statics stats. Okay, you can also add multiple things like a total price, like average price of the tour. Okay, we can set like average price, and then you can sum up, get an average price. Okay, in order to get an average, you just have to use the operator dollar average. In order to get the sum, you have to use dollar sum, right? You'll have the average price, like a minimum price. You can understand that it's 1,563. Okay, that is the average price. Okay. Okay, now you can also try and get like minimum price, which is the cheapest one. Okay, sorry, I mean price, and then use the minimum operator for the price field. These are all the fields, price, but mentioned as a dollar here. Only then they will pick up as the fields. Okay, come back here and try to check again. You have the minimum price. 397 is the lowest uh, price of the tour, and for the max, you can simply change this to max. Okay, and you can observe we might have like something like 2000. Yes, 2997 is the maximum price. Clear? So this is how you can actually get the aggregated results. Okay, now you can do something else like you can group them, but let's say I want to get the aggregated results of only the easy tours and medium tours, difficult tours. There are divisions, right? Like easy tours, difficult tours, something like that, right? So here if you try to mention like id underscore id of the field is difficulty. Now, based on this field, it will be grouped. Okay, so come back here and hit send. It should look something like this. Let me pull this up. Okay, observe here, our easy tour has total number of 4 tours and number of ratings that it has got is 159. Average price of the easy tour is 1200. Okay. Okay. And observe here the average price of the difficult tour is always high. Okay. And the number of ratings as well. A lot of people go on easy tours, right? 159 here. And number of ratings for this is 41. Medium is 70, right? And minimum price of a easy tour is 397. And the difficult one has the maximum price, right? So this is how you can get insights of the data with the aggregated results. Clear? I hope you understood how this aggregation thing works. You can also have the match again after getting all these things. If you don't want the easy twos, you can do that as well. Like let's say I don't want easy twos. After grouping all these things, okay, you want to group by the difficulty, but you don't want to have the easy twos, right? Then you can again try and group it. Again have the matching condition here. Like you can have match as many times as you want, but the pipeline works now. Okay, dollar match and id of, sorry, it's not id. um we can set it to difficulty. I want to take the difficulty field, which should not be equal to easy. That's what I want to get. All right. So I can simply take this flower brackets again, not equal to easy. Clear? Now, the first thing that it does is gets all the tours which is greater than or equals to 4.5 of rating average, and then it will group them all like this. Finally, out of this group, it will try to take out the tours which are not difficult. Sorry, not easy. Clear? Okay, so now let's just save this and come back here and try to send hit. Okay, so we do have a mistake here. Sorry. Okay, sorry. The thing is, I use of the group data, right? The aggregated data. So when I mention this, it works with the older data, right? So there is no difficulty field here, right? So when the data reaches here, there is definitely no uh, difficulty field. The fields that are present are ID, number of tours, ratings. These are the fields when the data reaches here. But when the data was initially here, we had the ratings average. So that's how we could pick it up. So now here, I just want to have underscore ID. That is where I can find the easy, right? So underscore difficult. Okay. So now let's just come back here and check again. So now we don't have the easy to data. All right. Okay. Of course, we can also filter it out. Sorry. Like we can sort it. If you want to sort, let me comment this out. If you want to sort, you can also have the sort aggregation as well. Like dollar sort. Okay. And what do you want to sort based on? Based here, you have to take the values from here now. Okay. It's not the values of the tours, but the aggregated results values that you want to pick out from. Okay, let's say I want to pick out the from the average price one, like the lowest price one, something like that. Okay, you can simply come back here and have an object again, and based on the sorry average. Okay, so here if you observe, we want to sort based on the average price. The plus one, the positive one means we have to do it in an ascending order. Okay, observe here. Let's hit send. Okay, so the average price here is 1272, and here it is 1663, and it's 1997. If you have minus one here, it will be sorted in a reverse order. Okay, so 1997 in the reverse order. Okay, so 1997 is in first, 1663. Okay, I hope you get it, right? So this is really amazing how you can aggregate the data, and this is very important aspect as well. When you build an API, you should also be able to build APIs which can give aggregated results. Okay, and we will check out the next thing in the next class, which is again a bit more about the aggregation results, and then we will talk about some MongoDB middlewares or Mongoose middlewares, okay, which will make our life even more easier. Thank you.